Hey everybody, Jim Masters here. It is the Jim Masters Show, live entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series, beaming from the New York area, hearing in the United States, reaching a global audience, our lovely squad, as we call them, the viewers who watch and support and love what we're doing here with our entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. We're approaching almost 1,000 episodes in 3 years, which is incredible. Good to have you with us. Hope you're doing well all around the world. Busy day for me on the radio and, of course, on television here in America. But, of course, we're here with you because we have a special treat. We've got some great guys coming in. They might even sing. I don't know. A little birdie told me they might even sing. We shall see. We're talking about the incredible group everybody's raving about, Trinity. And I am going to be welcoming in just a second. They're coming to us from just outside London, England, in the UK. They're actually in the midst of their UK tour right now. So for us to actually get the guys and be able to squeeze this in was a feat of nature, truly. And we're so excited to have Conor Murphy and Emmett O'Hanlon, who, of course, is a great friend of our show. He's been with us before. I know Emmett personally. I've interviewed him on PBS. Great guy. And Ronan Scolard is with us as well. And again, if you are familiar with the group, maybe you saw their special, Classically Irish, on PBS, which was a real hit. And we're so excited to have an opportunity to talk about some of the cool new things that the guys are working on. As I mentioned, the tour as well is in full swing. Those of you who are in the United Kingdom, you know, they've been all over the map. Got some great cool shots of the guys. We're going to be talking again. They might even sing for us. We shall see. If you're unfamiliar with the gang, well, then you're going to learn about their incredible backgrounds too, in addition to the fact that they are on tour and their sound is absolutely fantastic. The tour that they're working on right now is incredible. As I mentioned to you as well, I had an opportunity on several occasions to meet Emmett O'Hanlon, and that was through Celtic Thunder. Of course, you know him originally from Celtic Thunder, and there is actually a really cool shot in the public television studio with all the guys from Celtic Thunder, just about everybody, just not George Donaldson. Of course, he had passed at the time just before, but Emmett is there and the whole gang. This is one of the first times Emmett O'Hanlon and I met, but then we met subsequently after when he performed. You recognize this guy with him, right? Absolutely. The other Emmett. This was in New York City, and they were performing together on stage. And I got a chance to go there with mutual friends, and we had a great time. There's Emmett O'Hanlon there. And then Lachlan Glenn, you may know him as well. This was sort of like a post situation after the events of the evening. Really, really cool stuff. So Emmett and I sort of connected and have stayed connected. But he was a guest on our show not that long ago, and you could see that full epic conversation. It was just laid back. It was conversational as we do this style. We don't really call these interviews; we call them conversations. So you can see that episode right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and we'll have him back as well. But he and I were chatting about having him come back, and he said, "Hey, how would you like to have the whole group?" Trinity. And I said, absolutely. We'll get, Ronan and Conor, and we'll try to put it together at a time when it's in between our tour, which is like right now. This is their 1 day off during the tour that they've got. So this is really cool stuff to have them here. Again, they've been, gracing the stages all over the UK. And you know what happens? They're like brothers, when you're spending that amount of time with people on stage and creating music and sharing it with the world. You do become like brothers, and that's what ends up happening. Their sound is incredible, and I want to tell you just a little bit about the guys themselves. Each of the guys, of course, as I mentioned, Emmett was born basically where I was too. We're both New York guys originally, from Long Island, out east on Long Island. He was born in New York to Irish parents, and after graduation from the Juilliard School with a Master of Music degree, he set out on a blazing career as a classically trained baritone, opera performer, and actor. And his role as principal vocalist with Celtic Thunder took him to hundreds of cities in the United States, Canada, Australia. He's currently a member, I'm going to tell you about this, of an incredible opera, and that is in Europe, over in Germany. And Ronan Scolard is a multi-talented tenor and musician from Dublin, Ireland, and he studied classical music at University College in Dublin. He also obtained a postgraduate in music technology from Trinity College, Dublin. He holds a master's in composition from the Dublin Institute of Technology. As a bonus to his warm tenor voice, Ronan is also Trinity's musical director. His extensive experience includes choral and orchestral composition and working for world-renowned Irish productions such as Riverdance and Celtic Woman. And we've had many of those folks on the Jim Masters Show as well, and I've interviewed many of them on PBS over the years. And that has made Ronan, of course, that relationship with Riverdance, Celtic Woman, and everything else, one of the most sought-after arrangers and music producers in Ireland. He also runs the European Recording Orchestra in Sofia, Belgium, which is very cool. Conor Murphy has Irish opera in his blood. His great-grandfather was a famous Irish operatic soprano before World War II. Yeah, Mimi Devitt, who earned the nickname Mimi for well-received Dublin. That's his grandmother. Well-received Dublin performances in La Boheme. Conor's family immigrated to Canada from Ireland. He's from the Toronto area in the early 1970s and was raised in a large Irish family growing up in Ontario. And since earning a bachelor's in music and opera performance at the University of Toronto in 2016, he's featured in operas, musical theater, and solo performances across Canada, the US, and Europe. And again, Mimi Devitt, his great-grandmother, very, very famous Irish operatic soprano. Trinity, of course, was created and has appeared on PBS as part of the Classically Irish special. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was really, really fantastic. And it graced the televisions all across America and into Canada. So we're going to talk about that. And again, a lot of the other cool things that the guys are working on. So without further ado, if you guys want to, we are live right now worldwide. So if you want to comment during the show and say hello, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, which is what you're watching right now. And we've got the Levity Hall chat room, which is open and available. And that's on the chat section of the YouTube channel. And you can say hello in our chat room to one another and to us. And we might even sprinkle a comment or two right here on the screen below during the conversation. So do that. If you enjoy the episode as well, give it a like, a thumbs up, and have some fun with us. As again, we welcome the guys. They're coming to us direct from London, England. Here they are. They're ready to go. Guys, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. And Emmett, a return visit for you. So cool to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Jim.
Hello.
So it's a day off for you from the massive tour. And I really appreciate you guys, popping in when you have the day off. I mean, if you weren't on the Jim Masters Show live series, which I know you've dreamed about all your life, what else would you be doing today?
Skydiving. Yeah, we wish. No, I don't know. Sleeping. We often, when we get to hotels, especially for day offs, it's usually we all go up to the floor that we're usually on together, and we say, "All right, see you in a day and a half."
See you at sound check.
See you at sound check. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. And that's what happens, when you're with people like this, it's like you become like a band of brothers, right? Like you're not just buddies and talented performers, but you become like there's like a brethren that is sort of formed through it all, right?
For sure.
Yeah, there's sharing a stage with anyone, let alone two people who you get along with, there's an element of like trust and kind of dependence on one another, and that kind of over time, certainly when you're doing a tour, it definitely forms a bond that kind of you can't find elsewhere. So it's there's times also, Jim, where they're like your brothers in the sense that you want to punch them in the arm.
Very true.
But they're rare,
That's
they're
very
rare.
Yeah.
Not that would occur on the show. I mean, if you did that, we would go viral.
It's true. You just punch him in the face. It's for the views. It's for the views.
And again, nobody knows what happened during the sound check, so we'll just share that amongst ourselves. But
it's very true.
So, for everybody watching right now, we welcome everybody watching, globally right now, live, and those who will watch this in the archives. How did this all come together? Were the three of you terrifically talented individual performers were placed together to create Trinity? Tell us about some of the backstory of Trinity.
Yeah, well, I guess a few years ago, when was it? It was early in 2020.
It was just before the pandemic. I think it was like January or February.
Kind of Emmett and I were approached separately, but at the same time to say there's this project coming together. Yeah. And the idea before that was that, the Irish tenors came quite a time ago, and the people involved in that were kind of looking to do something similar, but also updated and maybe move it forward in today's industry. So Trinity was kind of born at that time. So Emmett and I kind of jumped on board and we got to know each other. Turns out he's an okay guy, so we got along quite well. And then we were looking for a third member, and this is not a joke. We were on YouTube and we found Conor.
We literally found Conor on YouTube.
Yeah, it shows the power of social media and YouTube.
What you'll find on YouTube.
Yeah, act like can sing high. Let's get him.
Yeah, we needed. Yeah, we were literally looking. We were like, God, we really need like a high tenor. And then we saw him, and we're like, there's no way he's normal, because like you can't sing like that and be a good dude. So we thought like we might just have to deal with him.
And they found out I wasn't. So.
And we found out we were right.
Yeah, it's incredible, huh? So when they contacted you via YouTube, what were you doing?
I don't know.
Working construction.
The pandemic. It was the middle of the pandemic. My wife and I had just moved into an apartment. She was pregnant with our first at the time, our first daughter, and I was like, "Is this a joke?" I was like, because I think, you guys reached out to me, and then Daniel reached out to me, and he was something along the lines of, "Oh, I was the producer for the three tenors back in the Irish tenors back in the day," and I showed my wife. I was like, "Is this real?" I was like, "Is someone pulling my leg? Like, what's going on here?"
It's a scam.
Yeah. So
that's funny, huh? So then, of course, then you're together, and then what happens from there? You got to like build a show, right? Because then you have the whole public television connection. How did that work out?
Well, so we Ronan and I, and the producers, obviously, we started working on the show basically right away, about 3 years ago. In fact, just past 3 years ago. And we were putting together the concept for the show, not actually knowing who the third member would be, just hoping it would be somebody like a tenor that can sing high. Thank God we found one. But one of our producers is Daniel Hart, who's the original producer of the Irish tenors. Another producer of ours is Joe Campbell, who I'm sure you remember worked for PBS for a billion years. Yeah. And so and both him and Daniel had a lot of, and actually Ronan and I have had a lot of experience with PBS, but Joe was kind of our like the head of the captaining that part of the ship as far as working with PBS on this show. And PBS was in from the beginning, and our production schedule was pushed back, I think 7 times because of the pandemic. Because it was like, all right, we can't do it now. We'll do it in 3 months. Okay, we can't do it now. We'll do it 5 months. Can't do it now. So, and then we ended up filming in November 2021. November 2021.
Wow. And what was that process like, putting it all together, filming it? Kind of exciting, huh? Because Emmett, you've obviously had this experience with being on television in the States and in Canada with the Celtic Thunder, etc. What was it like for all of you guys coming together and actually putting it together?
It was exciting, and as Emma touched on, I think because of all the efforts and delays and headaches that came before, when it actually came to happening, it was a bit surreal. It was kind of strange to be standing on a stage, still in the thick of COVID, but luckily with visas and stuff, we were some of the first people to get back into the US in terms of myself and Conor to make this happen. So a bit of a pinch yourself moment on a number of fronts, but it went off without a hitch, and we're delighted with what we got.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How do you describe the sound? Folks are familiar with some of the other Irish acts that come through. What is it about the Trinity sound that you think stands out and is so unique that people seem to be resonating with?
Well, I mean, not only, just to clarify something, not only is Ronan our musical director, he's also the arranger. So he has arranged everything that comes out of our mouths. So he's literally the perfect person to answer this question.
I don't think I can have an objective
Go
answer.
ahead.
No, well, I guess what we'd hope that people are catching on to with Trinity's music is, the catalog of Irish music out there is amazing. I'm biased, of course, being Irish, but the stories connected to the songs are kind of what people tend to resonate with. And, so many people left Ireland over the last several centuries and are now spread across the world, that it's kind of the music that connects everyone back to Ireland, at least that we've met. So I think for people to hear the songs that they know, maybe done in a kind of more contemporary, fresh way, in a way they maybe haven't heard in recent years, is it kind of brings new meaning to the stories in a way when they listen. So I hope that's what people are getting. And by the way, hello to everyone out there listening who knows the music.
Yeah, they're watching from all around the world and commenting and saying hello, and we love all that. So in terms of, like you say, the music, you've got a good mix. Are you pulling from a lot of the Irish, favorites that everybody really loves, Irish artists to perform, and mixing it in with newer sounds? How's it working there when you're arranging it all?
Yeah, I mean, we sing songs that aren't really well known, like Danny Boy. I'm sure no one's heard of that one.
I briefly. Yeah, I used to think it was Barry's Boy, but
there you go.
You know what? Actually, little quick funny story. At one of at each intermission, we've been going out and because we have our CD for sale, so we'll sign stuff like the program or the CD or something. And one, I hope he doesn't see this. Some fan of Carrie's came up to us and said, because on stage we say we go to sing Danny Boy, and Ronan says appropriately, this is maybe the most famous Irish song ever written, and maybe one of the most famous songs ever written. And the guy came up to us and said, why do you think Sonny Boy?
Yeah.
Why do you think Sonny Boy is the most famous Irish song? We're like,
it's not.
Sorry, what song are you talking about?
So some people don't know that song, but to answer your question, Jim, we're trying to, pay homage to as I say, the past of the rich Irish kind of musical catalog that's there. But then there are some slightly newer numbers. Certainly in the PBS special, we sing a song called Homeward Bound, which is not Irish, but definitely has a Celtic feel to it. And we tried to put an Irish spin on it. Shenandoah, which of course is a North American kind of folk song that has Irish connections. So we're trying to kind of expand it a little bit, just to kind of draw on all of our upbringings and backgrounds as well.
Yeah. And speaking, because I know he's not going to brag about himself, but speaking as somebody who sings the things that this guy arranges, Ronan does an incredible job. And I say this because all of the audiences thus far have said some version of this, that you'll never have heard these songs the way that you'll hear them when we perform them. And it's not because of the way that we sing. It's because of the way this guy put the song together. And what it is we all three of us have very different voices, like remarkably different voices. Yeah. But the way it's arranged when we sing together, it's like we were built to sing together, and it's because of the arrangements. So I mean, everyone who comes to one of these shows, even just as we're opening for Carrie, everybody who comes up to us says, I can't believe how amazing you guys sound when you're harmonizing, and then also how different you guys are. So
now you've you've had experience, of course, singing with others with your experience for years with Celtic Thunder. How does this differ for you, Emmett, from the Celtic Thunder experience, which I know you have great memories of and have, been a part of that for such a long time. How does this differ? And of course, you have your solo career too. So how does it differ from that experience with Celtic Thunder, but also getting back with others and collaborating, because you've been on your solo performances for a while as well? What's that all like?
Yeah, for me, it's listen, it's some of the best memories I have performing with Celtic Thunder and the guys. I think for me, the biggest difference is because I was a part of this thing from the start, kind of the inception of it. I was able to voice a lot of opinions that obviously, Celtic Thunder, I was coming into a mammoth of a machine that was already chugging along, and it was an honor to kind of fit into that machine. But I was able to be a part with Ronan, obviously, of kind of the molding of this stuff. And we all think so alike in the sound we're going for. And so for me, it's less of a departure from what I'm used to as far as a solo performer. Like the way I sing an opera is going to be very similar to what you hear with Trinity, because the music was arranged that way. Like this is primarily an orchestral show, I would say. We obviously do shows without orchestras, but this show is built to have a sound, an orchestral sound. So it's that kind of bigger singing and more kind of heroic singing and romantic singing, as opposed to more of the traditional folk or trad approach to the Irish music. At least for me, that's what I find is this is a lot closer into kind of my world of singing.
That's really cool. And Conor, for you, tell us a little bit about, I mentioned it in the introduction, a little bit of your background, but what sort of inspired you to want to go into music with the background that you've got in the family?
Yeah, honestly, when I entered high school, my best friend joined choir, and I was like, okay, sure, I'll join choir. And then it kind of just snowballed from there.
I can sing.
Yeah. And then my teacher said, oh, you should take singing lessons. And then that teacher said, you should study with this person, and so on and so forth. And now we're here.
Lucky you had this teacher.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Wow. And how about you, Ronan?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, Emmett just said, look, we had those teachers. I think we could probably all identify someone in our kind of upbringings that was a pivotal character in maintaining that kind of course. And for me, teachers was one. But when I was 12, I was kicking and screaming to give up the piano. I hated it. It didn't make sense. Couldn't read the music. Didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, my parents had let my 3 older sisters kind of, put it to the side and stop. But for some reason, they said, no, keep it up. And literally 18 months later, I was so grateful they did, because whatever wasn't clicking just clicked. So all of that to say, it was kind of, I wasn't interested. And then I just all of a sudden was obsessed with it. And I kind of haven't stopped in like 20 years. That sounds scary. But yeah, it was kind of like an addiction of sorts, a healthy addiction.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that Ronan says that, because we all now have the same voice teacher. It's the teacher that I grew up going to, and who is still my voice teacher, and actually is Emmett Cahill's teacher. He also teaches a bunch of the Celtic Thunder guys now. He's kind of taking over the Irish music world at this point. Like for me, I mean, I had teachers like Conor said, but my parents, I mean, they forced me to go to voice lessons. I never wanted to go to voice lessons, and I never wanted to go to piano lessons. And they were like, well, that's tough because you have a talent. So now you have to. And Terrence was that teacher then, and he's still my teacher. And we met my voice. And there's so many, and anyone who's a singer out there will attest to this. There are so many teachers who just decide to teach who don't know how to teach. So it's more likely that you're going to get a teacher who's not going to lead you down a good path. I just got lucky because a family friend of ours knew Terrence. And it just so happened that he was, like, for me, the greatest teacher I ever studied with. So, yeah, it was a lot of mom and dad saying tough and forcing me to. And thank God they did. Yeah, seriously. I don't know what else I'd do.
Speaking of parents, how's your mom and the restaurant and all? How's that going, Emmett?
Yeah, everyone's great. Everyone's in New York. They've been better. They've all been sending me photos of the air. So, right. But yeah, everyone's doing good other than the air quality. So I'm hoping, I mean, we go home on the 12th, which is however many days from now. And I'm hoping by the time I land that maybe this will at least be a little better. So
She still have the restaurant? Everything's still going with that?
Yeah, yeah. Family
Yeah.
still has the restaurants and bars and such. Yeah,
In New York City, which is kind of
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody go and check that out.
yeah.
So
There's more than a few of those photos you showed. I don't necessarily remember taking.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Bad memory.
Wrong day.
Those appetizers were really good.
Yeah, it was.
So, what is it like being on tour for you guys? I mean, you're in the thick of the tour right now, and what is it like, preparing, for folks watching, saying, "Gee, what is it like to actually build a show and then go from city to city?" And are there any interesting, crazy moments that have happened? Sometimes we have some guests that come in that talk about what happens on tour buses or how things don't always go perfectly on stage sometimes, and you got to just keep going and trudging through, which we've all experienced being in the public eye. What's that whole process like for you guys?
Well, Conor likes to tell dad jokes,
It's true.
so most of the time it's just us wanting to like boot Conor out the back window
So
of the car.
tell the chicken joke.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
tell the
okay.
chicken joke. It's a great dad joke. That actually makes me laugh.
Okay. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because
Let's see. There's a pretty hen across the street was rushing to see, or
okay.
There you go.
Because
Yep.
Yeah, because with a chicken voice, I
Yeah.
swear to God, at some point we're so tired at a certain point of the Ronan and I were talking about this last night. Actually, you become so tired that Conor just becomes really funny. When like the beginning of the tour, it's like, okay, Conor, we get it. You like dad jokes. No, they're great because we're losing our minds. So,
especially when it comes out of nowhere, there's like an
yeah.
hour, like 30 minutes of quiet in the car.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, and it's funny because now we've figured out his tone. Because at first I didn't know it was coming, and he'd be like, "Hey guys, why is the sky blue?" And I go for the, I'm like, "The sky's blue because of," and Ronan just goes, "Okay, here we go." And I'm like, oh, it's a dad joke.
Yeah.
No, but as far as putting a tour together, I mean, we're openers, so we're doing a 25-minute spot at the beginning of the show. So it's a little different, obviously, than putting on a 22 show number.
Sure.
Yeah, but you kind of you put the songs together. We're singing about 6 songs in total, and you think you have an idea of how it'll go and how the audience will react or how it will flow. And most of the time, you're right if you've done it right. But sometimes you just kind of adapt and kind of reorder things or change something up. But in terms of tour stories, nothing scandalous, I promise. But about a week ago, we were an hour and 30 minutes from our set starting, and we realized that our tuxedos, which for anyone watching, we wear tuxedos on the stage.
Yes.
They were still in the dry cleaners that we'd left in the day before, and we had 5 minutes until said dry cleaners shut.
And
it takes we're 10 minutes away.
And we were watching a video of our recording, going, "Hey, we actually we're sounding good today."
Yeah.
And then I go, "Guys, where are
their tuxes?" Yeah. So I had to call and beg the nice English lady to keep her place open late for us, and she begrudgingly was very kind about it.
Because if she hadn't stayed open, it would have been Trinity meets Magic Mike or something.
Honestly,
like
it would have turned into a very different show.
You just would have been casual like this, right?
Yeah. I don't
Just
even know
hanging
if
around. Here
we don't
are.
even have clothes that nice on tour right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What are you guys contemplating here? It looks very serious by the
Nearest coffee
ocean.
shop.
Literally nearest coffee shop. That's on Long Island. That's in the Hamptons.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we went out.
Hamptons. Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's on that's just off of just south of Southampton, actually, on the beach.
very, very
Yeah,
nice.
I took these guys out there.
So yeah, the tuxes, that's the look. And
That's the look.
yeah, that's definitely the look. And it goes well. I love this shot too. This is more recent. Tell us about this one.
That
Where on
was
earth?
Edinburgh.
That's when we went and got a
Edinburgh.
drink. Yeah, it was Edinburgh. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was-
Edinburgh, beautiful part of Scotland. We were there, I think, on Sunday just gone.
Yeah,
Right.
we had that was going into our last day off before today, obviously, and we decided after our set before we went out for intermission to go get a beer. So that was us literally leaving to go get the beer. So
Right, exactly. And now, did you do something with Mairead as well? Was she a part of was she like a special guest star on the concert tour? Or?
will be.
Will
Yes.
be.
Yeah.
Will be.
Up.
We have some dates in March next year in the US. We have announced one. We haven't announced the others. So this is a bit of an inside scoop, but we do have some more in California in March next year. So Mairead will be joining us for some of those dates, which is very exciting for us because we get to sing some songs that Mairead will be involved in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That is awesome. I got a chance to, we are with Mairead and Megan Wall, of course. That was at the PBS studio. We were interviewing them. That was at that time it was Celtic Woman, and really, really cool. And how is she doing? Busy, right?
She's great. Yeah, she's kind of been on this solo gig, like not tour, but kind of string of dates, and she's getting to sing the songs she wants. And I'm doing some of the arrangements, which is a really nice process for us to get to enjoy together, which is new enough to us because obviously when she was with Celtic Woman, she was very busy with that. So it's been nice to see her do her thing under the name, her own name, and kind of, I sit at the piano sometimes and I forget what I'm playing because I'm just like staring at her do her thing. So it's been a really rewarding process for her, and she's working really hard.
That's really cool. Tell her we said hello, and she's welcome to join us as a guest on the show. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to.
So individually too, I know, Emmett, you've been, in Europe doing your thing in Germany. Tell us, folks know you from Trinity and maybe even from Celtic Thunder. They don't know you've had this incredible solo career. You were in Chicago, Germany. Yeah. Tell us about all that side of your incredible career.
Yeah, it's my opera life. I just did a whole bunch of stuff over the last few years in Düsseldorf with Deutsche Oper am Rhein. I was in Austin doing Barber Seville last October, November. I will be actually going to LA to star in their production of Barber Seville. With LA Opera.
Just a small production.
Just a small
LA Opera.
LA Opera.
Wow.
Thanks. Yeah. That'll be in the fall, this upcoming fall. So I mean, it's my opera life. And before that, I was a young artist at Chicago. That was kind of what started everything after I graduated Juilliard. And after I had toured with Celtic Thunder, I got that opportunity.
How have you been able to sort of manage it all too, with all the different things you're doing?
Losing my mind every day. No, I'm very lucky to have an incredible agent and manager. And also it's really nice being in a group with these guys because they're really responsible and he's incredibly organized. So
that's true.
I just turn up and sing whatever he puts in front of me. It's really easy.
But you raise a good question, Jim. I think, speaking for myself, but I think you'll relate, when you're a musician coming through college or school or whatever, there's a large part of life that being a musician entails, and it's admin and it's work and it's tax returns and stuff. And you think you're just going to get out there and sing and play the piano or whatever, but there's a black blind side that you don't see, and you kind of just learn on the fly, right? You just get things wrong, and then you're
I mean, I get asked now because I guess I'm this age. I get asked now by young singers that are in high school or their bachelor's degrees that are aspiring opera singers or just singers in general, and they say, how does it feel to do what you love? And I'm like, I spend like maybe 2% of my time doing the part of it that I love. And the 98% of it is all the other nonsense. It's all the stuff that leads to the thing that you love. So it's like, it's great. And it's like a dream come true, but like, you have to keep your head about you and know that like, okay, I have to be organized and I have to be able to show up on this date. And I got to book the flights and I got to do this.
Right.
And especially when you do, and all of us do have kind of stuff outside of Trinity. And when you have that, it is hard to kind of balance, like I have to go to my opera agent and say, okay, so these weeks of these months, we can't book anything because Trinity's going to be doing this. And then sometimes I have to go to Trinity. Like actually the first show of this tour, I couldn't be there because I had the second to last of my second to last show, my second to last opera for the production I was just doing in Germany. And I couldn't get out of the show. I tried to get out of the show, but it just wasn't an option. So we had to have a sub come in and sing that one performance of that show for Trinity for the tour. And it's just a bunch of juggling. And you have to just be able to deal with the juggling and just stay calm. And again, it's very nice when you have partners that are easy to work with and can just be like, all right, we'll sing with a sub. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. So I have a question for you, Emmett. How do you do what you love?
How do you do what you love? Well, so that's a better question than how does it feel to do what you love? Because when I'm singing, it feels great. The other stuff, it drives me crazy sometimes. But how to do what you love Yeah, exactly. It's all the admin stuff. I mean, it's all, answering emails, talking to producers and agents and presenters and all this kind of stuff. Going to, APAP, like we all went to APAP.
Some of those presenters, I tell you.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I tell you.
Yeah, I mean, how to do what you love is a better question, because the process is, I mean, there is a good bit of luck, but what I always feel about luck is like luck only matters if you're prepared. So you have to be prepared for when the luck comes to knock it out of the park.
Have I said that saying to you guys that I think it might be an Irish saying, it might not, but luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
There you go. Exactly. And like, for me, it's there were so many people from high school till 10 seconds ago. Cause one of these guys were mean. No, my whole life, there's always been people who are like, yeah, I mean, like, you're good, but like, you're not so-and-so, or like, you'll never be enter fame, Robert Merrill or something, or, and I mean, I had a coach in my undergrad when I went to CCM tell me legitimately, this was in a coaching, well, your voice isn't built for big houses. You'll never sing at the big opera houses. Wow. And I was like, I don't know, 19 at the time, maybe 20, maybe. And I just had to be, I had to just be like, okay, whatever, maybe. And so, yeah, it's a lot of like, resilience. I always say, get a group of people together that you trust and only listen to their opinions. That's your team. And then that's it. Everyone else is just nonsense. It's white noise.
Yep. Still waiting to be put on that team, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's white noise right now. No.
So, Ronan, you agree with that methodology and that approach?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like this is specific. Oh, there's a piano going off here in the background. It's not like this is specific to music, but certainly we've all experienced
that piano.
No, I don't know about that. Emmett's going to play the piano for you. Play the piano on his phone. So yeah, it's not specific to music, but of course our experience, growing up as musicians, is that things don't always go your way. That audition, you don't get a call back, or someone says you're not cut out for that. And ultimately, if you stick with it, hopefully most of the time that perseverance is kind of rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
And Conor, same thing for you?
Yeah, I mean,
this better be some dad level stuff because you got kids.
Yeah, there's certainly
back to the chicken in the road.
yeah, exactly, right. I'm just gonna tell a dad joke. No, I think there's definitely something to be said about sort of the seeds being planted from your hard work. Like, had I not put things onto social media pre-COVID, like, would I have the gig? I don't know.
No,
so
I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
I was there.
So yeah, in my brain, I'm like, it's such a joy to get to sing with these guys, and there are things that led up to it, and I'm like realizing how little control I had over any of that. So I'm like, praise God for that. That's like at the end of the day for me. So yeah.
Tell us, Emmett was telling us about some of the cool things that he's been doing, as far as being a solo artist. Conor, what are some of the things you've been doing solo aside from Trinity?
Sure.
Having kids.
Yeah.
Being responsible.
That's not necessarily solo.
No, this is true. This is true. No, yeah, my oh man, yes, I have a 22-month-old and a 4-month-old, 2 girls. So my wife has her hands full, but she has a great support group at home. And so like I do singing stuff on my own. Strangely enough, my career kind of like I had stopped singing when I came out of university and graduated, and I was like, I want to be a DJ. So I don't know what I was doing.
Gosh.
Yeah. So did that for a little bit, and then got back into it when I met my wife. COVID happened, and then things picked up as Trinity happened. And so I'll do like corporate things here and there. And strangely enough, I do a little bit of carpentry on the side as well. Yes. So
multi-talented.
Yeah. Multi-something, that's for sure.
He's gonna build our set for our tour.
Yeah. So but yeah, I've been leaning into the singing more. And so I have some gigs when I get back, solo stuff wise, but yeah.
That's cool. Good stuff. Well-rounded, and that's a very well-rounded answer. Doing a little of everything and producing. How about you, Ronan? What are some of the cool things that you've been doing solo as well?
You never sit still.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, Ronan never sits still. So
Well, we were just talking about this the other day. Trinity is actually the only kind of thing that I'm singing in.
That's true.
That I'm actively a singer in. So, and I love that. Like, I really do. I like. Hopefully, more and more of it comes, and it looks like it is. But, I kind of, my day to day is in writing music and working with orchestras. I co-run an orchestra with a colleague in Bulgaria, in Sofia. So I'm over there a lot of the year. I spent some time living there as well, which is kind of how it came about. And I'm involved with an academy as well, which trains kind of composers coming through. So yeah, like fulfillment wise, all my boxes are checked, and I'm very fortunate to be able to say that. But for now, Trinity is the only place that I'm singing. So we'll see if that changes.
How did the name Trinity get selected? How was that? What was that process like?
actually, our voice teacher. That's all Terrence. Really? He probably could. He one day is going to sue us for rights, I'm sure. Because I was talking to him. That was early on. I think I was talking to him about it, and I was like, we just can't come up with a name. And like we knew from day one, we did not want to be like a blah 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 tenors or like the whatever tenors. Not obviously. I mean, the three tenors, one of the best things that's ever happened in music, in my opinion. But like that has been, in my opinion, played out. You can't. It's over. You can't. So we knew right away we could not have the name tenors in it because it's. I feel like people's brains turn off when they see that. So we wanted a name, and Terrence was like, "Well, there's three of you. Why don't you just do Trinity?" And we were like, "Okay, yeah, all right."
That's cool, huh?
Yeah.
So on the days off, like you said, you just sort of kick back and relax. Are you rehearsing still on days off, or is it just you shut it all off?
We're kind of lucky in that this far into the tour, we think we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I say that now. Tomorrow I'll go out and forget my lines. But
forget my name.
We one day we went go-karting, which is a lot of fun together. Today we drove into London a little bit to do a photo shoot for Trinity. So we try to mix it, productivity, but also fun and relaxing as well. Yeah.
I'd say at the beginning of the tour, the days off are kind of like rest, but also maintenance on the show until the show is solid. Then,
So what can people expect if they come to a show put on by you guys? People are asking like, oh, where can I hear them? Where can I see them? So we've got a buzz going here on the Jim Master Show, which we love. What can people expect at the concert?
Oof, lots of jokes on stage.
No singing.
No, so we don't sing actually at the show.
No, they just hum.
Yeah, we just hum. We just play audio of us singing and make dad jokes over it. No. It's actually, I'm happy to say that there are a lot of laughs in the audience when we are putting on a show because, well, frankly, we're idiots, and that shines true on stage, and it's funny. There was a big thing that we all decided right away when we all started working together is that, listen, if you come to a show of three guys in tuxes with an orchestra behind them, you're gonna assume that they can at least kind of sing. If they're really good singers, that's a bonus, but. Being a really good singer in that scenario is not the biggest wow factor. We wanted our personalities to shine across on stage as much as possible. And, we're all jokesters and we can't take anything seriously. So, there are lots and lots of laughs. And another big thing was not just Irish music.
We kind of, we all love so many genres of music, and we reference this in our current set. We also love films and movie musicals. So we really want to kind of maintain that Irish identity, but expand into the songs we love singing and what we grew up listening to. Whether it's Disney or it's Broadway or the West End over here. And luckily it looks like we're kind of doing that organically, and it all ties into Trinity as an identity.
Absolutely.
So you're touring there in the UK. What are some other places that you guys would really like to tour? Obviously, you mentioned something about the US, of course, Canada, I would imagine.
Yeah. All of the above.
Those sound great.
There are some things, and listen, we'll come back on the show when we can say all of the details. There are some things we can't fully talk about, but next summer, early summer, we will be opening again in the UK for an extremely big act. in the Broadway world, the name is royalty. So we're opening for that person. We're not allowed to say who it is.
Tiptoeing right now.
That was a huge surprise for us. In addition to that,
God,
we're actually
that person. I can't believe it.
I mean, we'll tell you later, but we can't tell. We can't tell the
As
audience yet.
long as you don't say anything.
Well, yeah, when we can announce it, we'll come back.
The tape will
we'll
self-destruct in 5 seconds.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, it's a name synonymous with Broadway, musical theater, all that kind of music. And in the fall of next year, we'll be doing our first ever UK tour, solo tour, the Trinity's tour of the UK. And as far as the US goes, Ronan mentioned we have one date announced, and we'll have other dates in March of next year. And this is another thing that I really can't say almost anything about. But as of a few days ago, we are working with a very, 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 very well-known and fantastic to work with company that I'll say specializes in booking the types of shows that we do, aka orchestras and big shows like that. And we will definitely be having a number of US dates of shows just like that with orchestras announced very, very soon with them. So that's as detailed as I can be about it.
I was just about to say, that's pretty cool. I mean, it creates the buzz and excitement. How does that make you guys feel that people are responding to the group, and they want to work with you, they want to produce with you, they want to showcase you? How does that make you feel? Is it like exceeded your expectations when Trinity was first put together?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. When it first all came together, this was sort of the idea of where we wanted things to go and where we were picturing it. So it's I guess it's happened surprisingly fast.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely feels like we unintentionally played the long game.
Yeah, accidentally.
And like this, like the things that have happened lately, which Emmett's rightly said, we can't say too much about now, but they feel like the kind of cherry on top of the cake in terms of the recent experiences we've had. So it's been a long time coming, but it's still a bit of a pinch ourselves moment.
Yeah, it's odd because I heard this saying a long time ago when I was a young man, and it's actually I used to think it was nonsense, but it's played out to be very true in my life, including this. The saying is that good things happen slowly, great things happen all at once. And like for us, and specifically myself and Ronan, just having been in this thing essentially from day one, it really felt like, we knew where it could be, but we really didn't know if it was going to go there. And for a while, it didn't seem like it was going to go there. And would it go there? Are people wanting it? And then all of a sudden, like 9 things happened in a week that were all crazy to the point where, like, when all these names and these companies that, especially in the parts of the industry that we've been in our whole lives, we know all these names, and I mean, they're the biggest names you could think of. All of a sudden, these people are not just saying, sure, we'll work with you, but they're saying, can we work with you? Yeah. Can we be the people that bring this act to the next level? I mean, it's overwhelming is to say the least. Yeah.
How do you feel, Ronan? Same thing?
Oh yeah. It's genuinely, there are moments where you're like, did that conversation just happen, or is that gonna, like, even with this, we're opening at the minute for Carrie Hope Fletcher here in the UK, who's an amazing singer, like so renowned in the West End for all the roles she's played, and she's the nicest person. But leading up to it, I was like, is that going to materialize? Because we had so many incidences in like 2020, 2021 where things just didn't happen because of COVID. That for it to actually have come through and to be standing on stage, it's holistically like really rewarding, and it kind of just gives you the energy to then pursue more things and keep going,
Yeah.
What kind of music do you guys like separate from the music that you do with Trinity? Like, if we were to dig into your iPod or your stereo system, or maybe even your boom box.
I had a boom box. All right.
You still have it, right? What would be in it? What kind of music do you guys like to listen to individually?
No, I think you think I was crazy if you looked at the different kinds of music.
Yeah, it's all over. I like a nice mix of like sort of electronic house music, but also the oldies, some praise music, kind of like all over it's all over. And recently, because of Ronan, a lot of cinematic music.
Yeah.
Oh, and Irish music, surprisingly.
You had to say
surprise.
Yeah, imagine that.
All right, Ronan.
Yeah, I mean, just to echo what Conor said, like film music is kind of what I geek out on, and I love listening to. These guys have been subjected to just songs being played in the car very loud.
It's
No
fine with us.
complaints.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a more recent thing for me in the last maybe 5 or 6 or 7 years. But I was brought up on Irish music, folk music, the Chieftains, the Dubliners, contemporary artists like Declan O'Rourke. I would advise people check out.
Amazing.
There's an amazing artist, Mairead Carlin.
She's all right. She's all right. She's all
I
right.
had to say it, Jim. I had to. What about you?
I mean, goof. Yeah, if you were to look at like my top, like, or whatever recently played, I mean, it's a weird mix of like opera music, orchestral music, film music. I mean, I was raised on classical music, Irish music, and then like American standards. So like, I mean, I remember I was at one point, I think it was like 1st or 2nd grade. I didn't know Andy Williams was dead. And like, I thought he was just this guy putting out great music, because around the house, it was like Andy Williams, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Etta James. And so I didn't really know. I never in my life have known like the contemporary popular people, because that was all the music that I listened to. But then now, because I'm an adult, now it's also like Ed Sheeran's in there, because I think he's great. I mean, there's so many what's great about music now is I feel like it went through this really weird period in the 90s. Now I'm a 90s baby, so there's a place in my heart for that music. But now I feel like with technology, it's gotten to the point where people are like composing again, even like house music, even electronic house music. Like you have people who are like genuinely brilliant musicians. So yeah, it's a weird, but also that being said, like if I go for a walk or I go to the gym, I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. I listen to, audiobooks. I don't listen to music because I'm a musician. I can't, it drives me crazy.
Exactly. Right.
So
how many instruments do you guys play?
Well, okay, hang on. We'll answer this first because he's going to put us to shame. Play, like what is play? Like what I'm willing to do on stage, or yeah.
There's play and play well, but
right.
We'll start with play.
Okay, I would say that I play the piano, I play the guitar, and I'm pretty good on drums. That's it.
Yeah, same, minus the drums. Maybe you could say I beatbox okay, if you can call that.
That's the dad joke of musical instruments. All right.
Yeah.
Not that you want to share any of the beatboxing.
Nope. We told him it wasn't allowed.
And I guess, in Ireland, I'm put to shame, but like 5 or 6 maybe. And, I have friends who play 14, 15. So,
but like 5 or 6, this is the same guy that like a week ago was like, I've been thinking about like learning a new instrument. Like, I don't know, I want to pick something hard, but like something that I don't know. So like, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Like, he's just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to like learn how to play an instrument. I'm going to want to. So I
didn't say well.
Well, like if you asked him, he'd be like, yeah, I'm like okay on piano. Like he's like virtue for us as far as what we do. Like he is on the special playing piano on our special on PBS. Yeah. So, and guitar, actually, he plays both in the show.
Yes, right.
So yeah,
piano with the hands and guitar with the feet, all at the same time.
There it is, exactly. All at the same time.
Yeah.
What are Ronan? So, what are some of the instruments that you do play? Piano, guitar.
Go on.
Any
whistles, bass. Yeah. And again, I really have to stress that I'm not saying I play these things well, but luckily in music, a good ear goes a long way. So if you kind of know what you're listening to, you kind of know where it's going, and you can bluff a lot better, is what I'm saying.
How did you like your experiences being involved with Riverdance and Celtic Woman as well, Ronan?
Great. So my first touring experiences were with Celtic Woman, and it was in a variety of roles. Started in the choir, then I was the pianist on tour with them, and we got to play with some amazing symphony orchestras in the US, which were kind of bucket list orchestras for me. And with Riverdance, it was more of a kind of music supervision capacity for their 25th anniversary. So it was a different role again, but it's nice to see, and we experienced this with putting this together, as you touched on with PBS. Like we've been on the camera, in front of the camera on PBS specials, but it was nice to kind of be behind the scenes and see how they're constructed and put together, and how you guys operate as well, Jim. So it definitely gives you an appreciation for the full circle that is a production like that.
Exactly right. And is there talk of another Trinity special on public television coming, or?
Was special, probably not for another year at least.
Yeah.
it takes time to put that together.
Yeah. I mean, we'd love to.
Especially because the shows that are being booked now, we're now touring that special that's airing. So
Yeah.
True.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So this is part of what has aired. This is the follow-up.
yeah.
How'd you guys do? Because you and I chatted sort of in the beginning of it. How'd you guys do during the pandemic? I say, I don't want to throw YouTube into a tizzy, but
Yeah.
how did you guys deal with it? And I know, especially for those, we've had several that are in Ireland proper, and they were under a real tough situation where some of them were, you know, like a group, and one guy lives here, this guy lives here, this guy lives here, but their studios here, and none of them could get to the studio because you couldn't leave within a couple miles from the house.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get there. How'd you guys deal with it all?
I mean, I was in Dublin for most of the pandemic, and you touched on it there. We, at one point, I think it was like a 3-kilometer radius from your house, you were not allowed to leave. And they were kind of checking that quite strictly. So, you know, I think what I loved about the pandemic, which obviously isn't to sound insensitive, but I love how everyone banded together and kind of checked in on each other, and you kind of just knew that everyone was going through it together. So you extended your arms kind of maybe more readily than you might have otherwise. So there were definitely, you know, small good things to come from a terrible situation. But then I actually moved to Bulgaria in the middle of 2020. And just because of their kind of the economic situation and stuff, they couldn't really impose restrictions like that. So it was a bit like we'd stepped back in time pre-COVID. So a bit of a juxtaposition there. Don't know about you guys.
How about you, Conor? Same thing. Interesting times, huh?
Yeah, it was interesting. Again, it's one of those things, because of COVID, the show was pushed back, and because there were people who were part of it, then backed out of it, is kind of the reason that I was brought on. Right. So, you know, it was definitely an interesting time. Kind of feels like ages ago. Yeah. The heat of it.
Yeah. And you, Emmett?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I was hunkered down in New York.
Yeah.
This guy saw more of me than most people because of all the Skype meetings we had to have about the Trinity special. Yeah, I mean, I was at the family house, my family's house rather, on Long Island, and so that's where we did our first Gym Masters episode.
That's right.
Yeah, and like, listen, I got to see the New York end of things, which, you know, a lot of like what Ronan was saying was very palpable in New York when I was in the city, at least before I went out to Long Island, where, you know, you had people cheering every day at 7 p.m. for all of the first responders. And yeah, so there was a lot of, it's interesting now being able to look back, and like we all just did, and say, all of us go to what was great about it was, as opposed to like, oh my God, that was so terrible. Like, yeah, it was terrible. But I like the fact that a lot of people are now kind of saying, well, what was great about that time in my life is blah, blah, blah.
There were some beautiful things that actually came through and out of it as a result. And some of the changes that have happened have been absolutely in the positive direction, just in society, which is a blessing. You guys maybe want to tickle us with a little something. I don't know what it could be, but
give it a shot. Give it a go. This genuinely isn't rehearsed, folks. So
literally not rehearsed. Okay.
What will it be? Do you want to intro anything?
Oh, it's an obscure song. We'll see. We'll see if you know it.
Sunny Boy.
Yeah.
Sunny Boy.
Sunny Boy. Yes, we've got a graphic for it. It's called a JMS exclusive.
There we go. Okay, here we go. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside.
The summer's gone and all the roses falling. 'Tis you must go, and I must bide.
But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
Sunny boy.
Sonny Boy.
What are you talking about? I've never heard Sonny Boy sung so beautifully.
Thank you.
That's great. Even a cappella. We were chatting with the guys, beforehand. Did you want to throw something in? And they sort of said, "Hey, let's put this together." And and it's cool. Do you like doing a cappella? Because you're backed by the fantastic orchestras at all. Plus, Emmett, you're doing a phenomenal job with the sliding microphone. You're a terrific director.
Pay him
I
extra.
got you, man. I got you. Yeah.
He's the technical director.
That's right.
That's right.
And he's not even left-handed, are you?
That's right.
There you go.
So do you like a cappella too? Because of course, when you're backed by these great orchestras, orchestral sounds is powerful. But do you like the a cappella?
I mean, there's a good bit of that in the show.
Yeah,
like ends of songs and stuff.
Yeah, we try to use kind of the might of the orchestra, as you're saying, and then kind of set it against maybe ending a song or at the middle of the song having a softer, almost a cappella. And a couple of times it is a cappella. So, and I think at one point in our lives, we all sang in choirs. So it's something we feel at home with.
And actually, one of the songs you can download now that we just put out randomly this past Christmas is Silent Night, which is completely a cappella.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Silent Night.
Yeah, it is. June. It's June. We can't do that.
That's what I was going to say, right? Wowza, absolutely beautiful. And that was sensational. All the great comments coming in. Maureen's in Arizona, USA, and Sherry Larson is in Kansas, USA. Wowza, absolutely beautiful. And let's see, Sherry, yes, Goosebumps. They're talking about the goosebumps that they all have. Kathleen's in New York City. Chills, awesome, loving it. And Jen Barry, she's having her, whatever the Irish artist's on, no matter what time of the day it is, she's got her Jameson with her.
Right.
Nice.
She's in Allentown, Pennsylvania, through the thick of the smoke, peeking through, saying, "My heart is melting. Wow, so good, magical. Thank you, 3 Slancha," which is really cool. Joan Sando is here. That was wonderful. Thank you. And I hope you keep having such success and come back soon. Yeah, the success is, you guys have been doing this a long time individually, but put together as Trinity, it's something really, really special and really cool. What are you most enjoying about this whole ride together, gang?
Oof. Well, putting it on its feet in a consistent way for the first time has been a lot of fun. Getting to know each other more on stage has been great. Yeah. So, for me.
And kind of seeing this gives us a good idea of like, oh yeah, we can do our solo tour. Like, like it'll be fine.
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
Yeah,
we know what we're doing.
Hearing how people respond to the music
absolutely
for all of us is kind of the reward.
Yeah,
and then meeting those people. So that's just the icing on top.
Yeah, and not to toot our own horns, but the response has kind of been
the audiences have been loving it. So hopefully
that's the key, right? That's really the, like you say, it's truly in any of this work that we do in a public fashion, the feedback from people who are willing to support, to follow, to care enough about it, to spread the word. That really is the icing on the cake with it all. You're doing what you love, you're doing what you've studied, or you're talented at. And then if people actually are willing to, buy tickets to concerts, download music, just share on social media, whatever it may be, it's really an incredible thing, right? So always remembering those who are there, who are consuming the product is paramount to all of this, right? You guys are very good at being aware of those who are supporting what you're doing, right?
It's actually something in our current set, even the short 25-minute set Emmett alludes to and states on stage, is we can only do what we love because people still pay to come see the artist that they love. So that will never, ever, no matter how much the music industry changes, that will never be lost on us, ever.
It's true.
where can people hear all the music? People are asking, where can I get some of the music? Of course, here's the website to learn more about tours and all kinds of cool stuff. But as far as like anything that they can grab a hold of, download, Spotify, iTunes, different places.
Yeah, anywhere you listen to music, we're there. You can also order the CD on places like Amazon, and there's a couple of places in the US, kind of big wholesalers who sell it. So if you just Google search us, you will find us.
That's right.
That is cool. That is really, really cool. So you're excited. You got the tour. Are you guys back on stage tomorrow?
Correct.
We
Tomorrow,
are.
yep. 3 more shows, then we go home.
Yep.
And you go home. So you go back to New York, Emmett?
Back to New York.
Connor, you go back to Ontario?
Toronto, yes.
And Ronan, are you in Ireland?
Dublin bound. Yep.
Dublin. You're right in Dublin. So cool. And when do you regroup again?
We were just talking about
Yeah,
this.
we were just talking about this. I don't know.
Once we're, not sick of the
I
sight
hope
of
I
each
never
other.
see you again.
Is anybody going to go into withdrawal as you guys are divided up?
It might be sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like, because of all the things we can't talk about, that's a little up in the air. I'd be shocked if I didn't see these annoying faces in probably, I don't know, what is it, June now? Probably sometime in the early fall.
September.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
Oh, October.
That's so cool. Well, this is really awesome. So happy for each of you, and the fact that this has been something that's been a labor of love. People always see the finished side of things, but there's so much blood, sweat, and tears and hard work and tenacity and, all the hours, the weekends, the days, the nights, putting it together and then presenting it. You wouldn't do it if you weren't good at it and you didn't love it. So, congratulations to each of you individually for your solo efforts, but also coming together and forming Trinity. And we're absolutely going to keep the porch light on for you. Emmett, you're always welcome. Ronan, Conor, you're welcome. Spread the word if you know other folks you think like to pop on the show. This was fantastic. And there's always somebody who pops on. He was on one of our nostalgic episodes and the audience fell in love with him. And he likes to pop on just to check things out and say hello. Mr. George Burns. Is with us. He's got his cigar. He's got his red hanky.
His tuxedo is better than ours.
Tuxedo's nicer than ours. Yeah.
If you ever run short on tuxes, he knows where to get them. And he sends his love as well. He hangs down below. He's sort of like an associate producer for the show. Hangs down below with his cigar and his martini down below. So you always have to make sure that his glass is filled.
It's in his rider.
That's exactly right. So he sends his best. And just a real quick check of some of our viewers around the world. Kathleen Walker in New York City says, thank you guys for being here. It's been an amazing show. It's our pleasure. Kathleen, thank you so much for being here with us today. Emmett, Ronan, and Conor, you are amazing together. Good luck in all you do in the future. Absolutely. Merlin up in Ontario. She's got goosebumps.
Yeah. Perfect.
Prove it, Merlin.
Yeah.
That's it. And Marshall Watson, these guys seem like real sweeties. Love them. Cool stuff. Shannon Jennings says, we look forward to your staging concert a couple weeks ago. Mairead is the guest. Good stuff. Yeah. Keep a watch over everything the guys are doing. And Maureen in Arizona, what a fun time in Lovely Hall today. Thank you for spending time with us, Emmett, Conor, and Ronan. Keep making Irish eyes smile. You're fabulous. Tight, lovely hugs to all three of you. Not too shabby, huh? That's what we do here.
Yeah,
that's our live
fantastic.
Jim Master show live. So if you ever need any of that, just stop by. And hope you guys enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you. Emmett, always a pleasure seeing you, my friend. And great meeting you, Ronan and Conor, and wishing you nothing but the best. And you're welcome back anytime. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
And can we just say we're delighted to be Lovedies now, officially
Absolutely.
Lovedies.
Welcome. Absolutely.
Welcome.
I don't know if you caught that. Yeah, we the audience already designated you guys Lovedies. This is Lovedy time too for Emmett. So
that's right.
He was running a little short on it, so he said, "I got to get back on Jim Master's show and get more of that refill that cup," which is terrific. Yeah, you can get Tonys, Emmys, Grammys, you can get Tellys, Peabodys, Oscars. All these great awards. But how does it feel to be told you're a Lovedy on the Jim Masters show?
Oh, it puts all those to shame.
Takes the cake.
Yeah, puts all those to shame. Who needs an Oscar?
Most people say they're right. Although it'd be kind of nice, right?
It would be nice.
Most people say their feet start tingling. Are your feet tingling?
Yep. That's
what
fair.
I
That's
think.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
When-
guests said that they started levitating. So that
It's not
happened. during the
levitating, no.
Levitating.
Jane is watching in Sweden. She says, wonderful song. You guys singing Danny Boy or Sonny Boy.
Sunny
Sunny
boy.
boy.
And thanks, guys. She says as well. And Sherry Larson says, thank you, Jim, for another wonderful show. See you all later. Double love and hugs to everybody. And Jen in Pennsylvania. Emmett, Ronan, Conor, you're all lovities. Cool. Good way to wrap. Gang, I know you want to enjoy your time off, so thanks for this amount of time with us. Really an honor and a pleasure. Welcome back anytime. Good luck with all, and we'll see you again soon, okay? Spread the word about our show. It takes a village.
Of course.
There you go.
Thanks,
Thanks
Jim.
very much, Jim.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of the day off. What are you going to do now? Fall asleep?
Yep. Take a nap. Yeah.
Make a sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, cheers, guys. You're the best.
Yeah,
We'll
take
see you
care,
again
Jim.
soon.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thanks, guys.
care.
Hi to your mom, Emmett, too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. What a great episode, huh? The guys coming in from just outside London, England. We really, really, truly appreciate their time. This was their day off in between their performances on stage in the UK. We're talking about Emmett O'Hanlon, who, of course, was on the left. Ronan Scolard was in the center and when they were on live, and Conor Murphy on the right. In this picture, Conor's on the left, Emmett's in the center, and Ronan is on the right. Cool stuff. And as you guys, here's their website again, so you can keep abreast of all the cool things. What was really cool is Emmett was sharing some really exciting things that they are on the cusp of sort of securing. So that's great. We're happy for the guys. Things that he could only tease, but they couldn't necessarily say everything because, there's paperwork involved and there's a lot of things that they have to do to sort of square away before it's official, but some really exciting things that are on the cusp for the guys together. And of course, they have their own individual solo careers. So maybe this is the first time you've met them right here on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment, Lifestyle, Celebrity Talk Show Series. Well, that's cool. We love that. If this is your first time watching, we welcome you here to Levity Hall. This is what we do. You can check out almost 1,000 episodes of our series, and you see all of the incredible guests that come into our show from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, authors, inspiration, health and wellness gurus, and just about everything, all of life. And if you do love the Irish artists, well, we've had several of the members of Celtic Woman as guests on our show. Just about all of the guys from Celtic Thunder have been here. This is the second visit for Emmett O'Hanlon. If you go back in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, you can see the full conversation when Emmett was with us. Phil Coulter was a guest on our show. Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway was with us on the show as well, and countless more for those who love the European artists and the Irish artists specifically. Rebecca Harkin is going to be joining us in just a couple of weeks as well. We're very excited about that. Of course, she's got an epic career. She's the sister of Keith Harkin. She's returning on our show, and Keith has his solo career. He, of course, was with Celtic Thunder. Rebecca was with us maybe about a year or so ago. She wants to come back. She reached out. Jim, I love your show. I want to be back in Levity Hall. So she's coming back with some fresh music, some exciting announcements, and she's really excited to be here, which is going to be terrific. So we're looking forward to that. Lucy Arnez is going to be with us as well in just a matter of days. It'll be her return visit. Of course, daughter of Lucio Ball and Desi Arnez. And just check out the archives to see past episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, gang, we're always putting together content and episodes that hopefully entertain you, inspire you, inform you, and we all learn something. We always have a good time. Give us a thumbs up like. There is a thumbs up sort of icon there. You see the thumbs up on the screen, but it's also on the YouTube channel. Click like. We would love that. Leave a comment for us. And don't forget to click the subscribe button which is really cool as well. That helps us grow. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where we house all these episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live, coming to you from the United States of America, here in the New York area, beaming out all around the world. You know, we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary recently. We've had so many iconic people stop by the Jim Masters Show, and many of them have shared some wonderful remembrances of their time with us on the show. Legendary guitarist Lawrence Juber was with us, and he's originally from London, from England. And he worked with Paul McCartney and Wings and so much more. He's got an epic career himself. He enjoyed being a guest on our show. You can see that episode archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And when we recently celebrated our 3-year anniversary, he and many of our other guests, if you want to see the 3-year anniversary show, that's archived as well. We also did specials celebrating the life of Tina Turner. We did a special celebrating the 90th birthday of Carol Burnett. We did a special recently celebrating the life of Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley, Priscilla Presley. But some of the guests have just said some wonderful things, and they wanted to share their words about their time as special guests here in Levity Hall on the Jim Masters Show.
Hey, Lawrence Juber here with a shout out to Jim Masters on the occasion of the 3rd anniversary of his show. I really enjoyed the experience. It's great to work with an interviewer that knows their stuff, gets a good flow going, and just makes it a very enjoyable experience. So I hoped that we get an opportunity to do it again. But all the best to you on this anniversary. Cheers.
So cool, huh? We really appreciate Lawrence doing that. Another fantastic artist from out in Los Angeles, the incomparable Raspin Stewart, was here, and he said these words.
Hey Jim, it's Raspin Stewart from Los Angeles, California, wishing you the best 3-year anniversary on your show. You are one of the best interviewers that I've had ever. Ask the best questions. Happy anniversary. Keep it going for another 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Happy anniversary.
Do you remember, and we thank Raspin for that, do you remember when he was in London and he was taking a little bit of time to join us on the Jim Masters Show? The incomparable singer and musician David Francis was with us. He had these words to share.
Hi, Jim. It's David Francis, the singer of songs from the Great American Songbook. I want to wish you congratulations for 3 years of stellar programming. You bring together such a diverse group of fascinating individuals as guests, and you bring out the best in them through your relaxed, interactive, conversational style. I really like that. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time on your show because you made it look easy. And I know there's a lot of work and craft behind that. So thank you for that. I'm not in London today. I'm actually in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. You may know it. It's the place where the film The Blob was made in the 1950s. So anyway, direct from the thriving metropolis of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, I'm here to wish you, your guests, and your audiences many more years of interesting and informative conversations that bring us together. Thanks, Jim.
Here's another familiar face. We thank David Francis for those wonderful comments about his time with us as a special guest on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Here's another familiar face, you know, of course, from Celtic Thunder and Vernon Kelly. And he's also right now, he's got a solo tour right here in the United States that he's doing. Of course, our buddy, Del Byrne.
Well, Jim, a big hello and an even bigger happy anniversary from your old pal here in County Wexford in Ireland. Jim, of course, I was only speaking to you a couple of weeks ago on the show. I can't believe it's 3 years. It's been, I think, the first year I was with you on the show. And you know what? It gets better every time I go on. I love your show. It's like coming into your living room and sitting down and having a cup of tea with you and just having an old chat. And the one thing I notice about your interviews is you never notice the time going. You know, it just flies because it's so entertaining, and you're like that with all your your guests, you know. You're like a friend to everybody, and it's a wonderful thing, you know. It's such a positive thing you have going there. And I want to thank you for being so good to me over the years as well. And here's to another 3 years, many years. Here's to another 30 years, Jim. Forget 3. All right, so keep it going. Love you. Keep the great work going. Talk to you soon. God bless.
We really appreciate Neil sharing those words. He's been on our show several times, and it was just on recently, a matter of weeks ago, just before his tour. If you didn't see the episode, check it out. Matter of fact, the other 2 previous episodes are also available for your viewing enjoyment here on the Jim Master Show Live series. Somebody else too that I mentioned, that the incomparable Lucy Arnez is going to be with us just in a couple weeks. Well, she was with us, and that was maybe about a year ago, right? And she's going to be back for her second visit on the Jim Masters Show in just a couple of days from now. But she wanted to be a part of the celebration of our 3rd anniversary and almost 1,000 episodes of our series. So she put these words together, which we really appreciate. And these are just some of the guests. If you want to see many more of these kinds of celebrity comments of our guests, our valued friends and guests, celebrity friends who've stopped by our show, we are sprinkling some of them in on each of our episodes, but you can also see them on the 3rd anniversary special that we did, which is archived on the YouTube channel as well. Here is the one and only Lucy Arnez.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. That's quite a milestone. I've always enjoyed talking to you. You do a great show, positive, optimistic, interested. You do your homework. We love being with you, and I hope we get a chance to do it again sometime. With love from Lucy Arnez and Larry Leckenbill.
How cool is that? And of course, the incomparable, legendary singer and songwriter extraordinaire, vocalist, Melissa Manchester was on our show twice. We just saw her recently at a concert event and got a chance to chat with her recently some more. She had these wonderful words about her time with us here and with all of you on the Jim Master Show Live.
Hi, this is Melissa Manchester. Happy 3rd anniversary, Jim Masters. I'm so happy for your achievements thus far with no end in sight. I was delighted to be invited to be on your show twice, and we had a lovely time discussing my career and achievements, and what struck me was how delightful the tone was. It was not you were not looking for any gotcha moments. You know, you, Jim, are interested apparently in restoring the art of conversation, and with that the concept of levity, which I just find charming and encouraging and delightful. So I look forward to chatting with you again, dear Jim, and congratulations again for making a space where people can share their ideas, where you can ask thoughtful, probing questions to see how we're all doing on our paths, our parallel paths. So wishing you many, many more happy anniversaries. Long may levity wave, and you too. Be well.
Spectacular from the incomparable music legend Melissa Manchester. We really appreciate her sharing those kind words, as well from Christine Ullman, who for 30 years has been the lead singer and vocalist with the Saturday Night Live band. Saturday Night Live, of course, the epic series for many, many years, since the 1970s, and continuing today on NBC, of course, on Saturday nights. Here's the one and only Christine Ullman.
Hey, everybody, it's Christine Ullman, the Beehive Queen from the Saturday Night Live band, here for my dear friend Jim Masters to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of the Jim Masters Show Live. Over 900 episodes says it all. It's fabulous. Happy anniversary, Jim.
So cool. So cool. Somebody you know from Broadway and so much more. The award-winning Jeff Harner was with us as well, and he had these words.
Hi, Jim. It's Jeff Harner here, wishing you a happy, happy anniversary. Congratulations on your 3-year milestone. 3 years is huge in any industry, but in the entertainment industry, it's really significant. I am so grateful to have been one of your guests on your program. I had the gift of being the recipient of your intelligent, compassionate, empathetic, warm, clever sense of humor and deeply empathetic listening ears. I think our interview was supposed to be 45 minutes and it stretched to be 90 minutes, and it's not because you were talking, it's because you were listening to me, and I am so grateful. So long may you wave. You give such a gift of service to your audiences and to the entertainers. You shine such an attractive spotlight on all of us. Onwards and upwards, lots of love.
Appreciate that from Jeff Harner as well, and from all of you. Carla is watching in South America. Good to see you, Carla. She's watching from beautiful Brazil. We love when Carla is here. And thank you very much, Carla. Yes, and you've been with us for a long time on our series, and we thank you for all of your levity and watching as well, and all of your support. And Jane in Sweden says, great show, Jim. Thank you very much. Trinity, levity group, absolutely. Glad you enjoyed learning about Trinity. And again, Emmett and I have known each other for a long time, and interviewed him initially through my hosting for years and years and years on public television. And again, here's a great shot for those of you that love, seeing all these kinds of things. And this is Celtic Thunder. This actually is quite a shot, because you've got several of the guys here that were with Celtic Thunder, and some have embarked on their own solo careers. But of course, Colin Keegan and Damien McGinty, they've been guests on our show. Neil Burns been a guest on our show. Of course, I'm right there. You've got Emmett O'Hanlon as well, and Keith Harkin and Ryan Kelly. Really, really cool stuff. And yeah, so that's one of the first times we met. And then here's a cool shot of the two Emmets. This was in New York City. Yeah, they were performing together, and we were there. We were invited to be there as well. And cool times afterwards. This was at actually Emmett O'Hanlon's mom's restaurant. His mom has a restaurant in New York City. And this was with Lachlan, and really cool time as well. And we mentioned Mairead Carlin. Of course, Ronan and Mairead teamed up together. There's Mairead Carlin on the left. She's got her own solo career, which is brilliant. We hope to welcome her as a guest on our show. Megan Walsh has been on our show. Yes. And I don't know if you saw the episode. She's with, of course, was with Celtic Woman, involved with Celtic Woman, of course, and that great group. And there we are. This is at the Public Television Studios. I'm interviewing Mairead on the left and Megan on the right, and they were delightful and they were fabulous. And we had such a great time, and really, really cool stuff. Yeah. We all look so sharp and snazzy there, don't we? In the television studio. It was a cool time. And again, that's where we initially met. That's why I met Mairead again. And then I believe I welcomed them on stage, Celtic Woman on stage, on behalf of the public television station, which, I always love doing that as well. emceeing and hosting. Been doing that for many years too, at Carnegie Hall and a lot of other venues across the country. And it's fantastic. Maureen says, Jim, all these wishes from your past guests are so well deserved. I hope you are proud of what you've created through JMS Live. This Levity family is something I cherish. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. And we love you back, Maureen. And Kathleen says, you always look good, Jim. Thank you very much. How do we print that out? Can we print that one out so I can save it? And thanks, Kathleen in New York. Gang, for those of you that are watching live, now, if you came in late, if you joined us late on this episode, no worries, because we archive all the episodes. So you can see this episode again on our YouTube channel. More of the Jim Masters Show. Where is it? Right there. That big screen behind me, the Jim Masters Show. You can see more of it here on our YouTube channel. But I want to let you know, for those of you who are enjoying the fact that we've got 2 episodes of our series scheduled today, this episode with our buddies from Trinity. One more time, we thank Conor Murphy, Emmett O'Hanlon, and Ronan Scolard for joining us from Trinity. And we'll have them back. You heard Emmett say we're going to come back, Jim, when we have more that we can share. And we look forward to that. We thank them for being with us. But also, we have another guest who's an icon in Hollywood and Las Vegas. Bruce Marin is with us, legendary celebrity public relations expert. He has worked with, and these are just some of the people, Dr. Wayne Dyer, Elvis Presley, Muhammad Ali, Johnny Carson, and on and on and on. And the stories he can tell and the incredible projects he's worked on with some of your favorite people in television, film, music, and more. He is an icon, and he's going to be coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, 7 p.m. Eastern today, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, and that'll be 4 p.m. Pacific. He's all excited to be with us. He's an icon. He's a legend. He knows everybody who's everybody. He's a big fan of our show, watches the series, and I'm so honored to be welcoming him, because he's going to be sharing some absolutely iconic stories and lots of surprises coming up later. So it is about 2:35 in the afternoon here at Levity Hall in the Jim Masters Show studios here, and we're going to grab some lunch. And then we're going to prep and get ready for our next episode. It was a busy, busy, busy day for me, not just doing this show, but those of you who follow my career and have been following my career well before I ever turned on the lights and started the Jim Masters Show live series know that I work professionally on television here in America and on radio and stage and film, and many radio shows. Matter of fact, I got a radio show to host today at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I'm doing that even before the next episode of JMS, and then working on about 4 scripts for television shoots. We had a big TV shoot yesterday. I've got another one early tomorrow morning and another one on Saturday. So it's just busy, busy time. And with the radio shows in between that I host, and other interviews and experts and CEOs and inspirational people and more, and then the travel series that I host as well. And yeah, I'm all over the map. It's like I'm on tour. Sometimes I feel like I'm on tour with my career in TV and radio, because those of you know, we just got back from Canada. We were in Florida. We were in California. We were in Texas. We've been to Europe. I hope something takes us back to Europe soon. I would like to get back to Europe for projects, or just to come say hello. How cool it would be to take the Jim Masters Show live series on the road, right? Take the whole show on the road, and maybe to various cities, countries, maybe up to Canada, as soon as the smoke clears. Right now, at the time of this show, there is those wildfires in Canada, and all that smoke's not only engulfing them there, and we hope and we pray for everybody that's enduring it, but in this area here in the northeastern United States and down the East Coast and into parts of the Midwest, it's been quite an epic story with the, you open up your door and it's like a campfire, and tough stuff. So we pray for everybody that's dealing with it. We have all doors and windows. Everything is closed right now as a result of what's happening in Canada, because we here are about 500 miles away from Canada. So we're not that far. We're in the northeastern United States, so we're not that far. And we're here along we're in the New York tri-state area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. So, some of that smoke has reached here as well, and it's been pretty dense and not so good. So indoor activities for sure. And Jen Barry in Pennsylvania, who I said, I think she's going to be joining us on our second episode of today. She's going to be with us later on. Jim, thank you for all you do for us. I'm humbled and thank you and thankful. Hey, we thank you back, Jen. Jane wants to know if I know what my bed looks like. You know, if I recognize my own bed, because I'm always busy. I'm always on the road. I'm always in studios or on location, and we're doing this series and everything else. Sometimes I reacquaint myself with the bed. I say, hello, bed. How have you been? Mr. Pillow, how have you been? Do you miss me? Sometimes they get mad because I haven't been in it and the pillow flips upside down and is not too happy. So we've been in the bed and you got a new bed there in Sweden. I know you're excited. You have a new bed. Maureen is praying for those fires out in Canada. Yeah, to everyone dealing with the smoke. Please stay safe. It's been tough with the smoke. Yeah, we really haven't been outside. A lot of people, it's very quiet. A lot of people are not out. They've canceled a lot of sporting activities, major sports, concerts, different things, just because the smoke coming from Canada has been interesting. And we pray for all of our friends and family and people, colleagues up in Canada. Yeah. All right, gang, we're gonna sneak out of here because I am starving. It is lunchtime and then dinner. I got a show. I got a radio show. I got to host at 5, and then we're gonna be back right here in this seat, right here in Levity Hall, with more. Thanks to the guys one more time at Trinity and Emmett O'Hanlon and Ronan Scolard and of course Conor Murphy. Got a chance to learn a little bit more about the gentlemen, their talents, their individual talents, and how much they enjoy playing off each other and with all the humor, which I think is great. Irish and humor and entertainment and music, it all goes together. Good times. They came to us live from just outside the London, England area in the UK. And again, there's their website one more time. Always happy to support and show that. For all of our guests that we have. Many, many, many more guests coming up. Stick with us and don't go anywhere. Spread the word. Tell everybody about our show. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give us a like. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Drop a comment underneath the episode if you enjoyed this and you enjoy what we're doing here at the Jim Masters Show series. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. All right, for all of us here at the Jim Masters Show Live series, we don't say goodbye. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers, slancha, shalom, hasta la vista. We say moi loop. We say, what else do we say? Hejda. We say cheerio. Wiedersehen. Moi loop. Take care. Be well. Catch you on the next one. If you want more of this kind of vibe, come back to see us. Tell your friends all around the world. Share the links on your social media. Thanks to those of you who have been doing that, sharing the links. You can share the episode links directly from our YouTube channel right onto your social media. And you can find me as well on social media at Jim Masters TV, Jim Masters TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Come follow, like, and if you ever want to support what we're doing when the shows are on, there is in the Levity Hall chat room, there are little icon things that you can do, like super chat, super emoji, and super stickers. That's in the chat room when the shows are on. And for those of you who want to support us when maybe the shows are on or when you're just watching something archived, there is a little heart icon that is underneath every episode of our series. And you can see it. It's just a heart icon, and it's called Super Thanks. If you click on that, you're able to support our series, all the content, the hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. Yeah, it has to be, because if we're almost at 1,000 shows, and some of the shows are an hour plus, that's thousands of hours and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guests. I was factoring in the other day how many people I've probably interviewed, not just on the Jim Masters Show series, but in my career in television and radio and on stage. well past 6,000 people and counting from all different backgrounds. And I love doing it. I love connecting with people. I love connecting with all of you. I love putting these shows together, having a good time, bringing us all together, sharing it with you, bringing in our guests, always having fun and having a good time with them, allowing them to shine, taking some of this shine that I get working in this industry and sharing it with all of you and sharing it with our guests and sort of bringing us all together, regardless of where you live, how tall you are, what eye color you have, what religion you are or not, or gender or background, political views, no political views. Everybody is welcome to stop by and enjoy what we're doing here at JMS in Levity Hall at the Jim Masters Show Live. And let us know, leave a comment. Let us know how much you're enjoying what we're doing here, because it really is important. I will definitely eat and drink something. I will drink something. If I was in Allentown, and Allentown I know has been pretty smoky lately with the Canadian smoke coming from their fires. Take care of yourself there in Pennsylvania, and cheers to you. Kathleen Walker in New York City. I know, huh? The orange sky look apocalyptic, Kathleen, huh? You haven't been out in 3 days. Hopefully it'll be clearing over the weekend. Yeah, I have a television shoot in the morning, Friday, and then another one Saturday. So we've been sneaking out and then getting right back inside. Crazy stuff going on in the world, huh? So if you need some peace and quiet, or you just want to be entertained and have a good laugh and meet some celebrity friends and more, watch us here on Jim Masters TV, YouTube channel, and the Jim Masters Show Live. We'll always come up with something. We'll always pull something out of the hat for you guys. I'll see you tonight too. All right. Love you back. Thanks for all the great comments and Levity Hall. And we appreciate all of those who are sharing, liking, commenting, supporting, celebrating what we're doing. It is quite unique. All right. Got to eat something, then get the 5 o'clock radio show done. And then we'll be back as we continue here for all of you. Right back at you, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us. This is Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, be right here waiting for you on our next episode of the Jim Masters Show Live series. Thanks for being with us. Love you all. Take care. Be well. Cheers.